make your customer lazy. It always works, I'm telling you. Because we human beings, by nature, we are lazy guys. We are a lazy creature. Our brain, if you understand the anatomy of a brain, then brain is wired to take shortcuts always. आपको अगर चाय यहाँ मिल जाएगी तो यहाँ से वो रूम में भी नहीं जाओगे. I mean, नहीं, sorry, I'm not trying to demean anybody, but that's how our brain works. Yeah? See this example of Clear Trip. So, this is where they are, this is the home page. Yeah? And I want to travel from here to Kolkata, okay, or if I have to travel from here to Hong Kong, let's say, from Mumbai, Hong Kong sector, if I want to have a flight ticket. What I need to do, guys? Tell me step one. By default, it's one way. So let's say I want to have, if I'm going to from here to Hong Kong, then obviously I'm going to have a return ticket. ना उधर तो मैं सड़ने वाला नहीं हूँ हांगकांग में, वापस आना ही पड़ेगा, रखेगा नहीं वो देश मेरे को, और ऐसे भी इंग्लिश भी नहीं समझते. So round trip, all right. So default should be round trip, okay. Then I have to, what do I have to enter now? From city. So what I'll enter? Mumbai. This is make my trip, right? Default, they already put for me Mumbai because I was connected from Mumbai. It saved me MUMBAI, 6 letters. It saved me from making mistake. It saved me time. Okay, customer is very lazy, and this is very important when you do your UX. एक दिन बैठो, खाली ये आप एक ही काम करो, try to eliminate as many clicks and as many touch, as many keystrokes as possible. Everywhere, पूरे सिस्टम में आप अपना जो भी आपके स्क्रीन से आपके पास, उसमें देख लो कि कितने चीज़ों में आप अपने कीस्ट्रोक्स को बचा सकते हो. कीस्ट्रोक, टच, क्लिक, यू टू सेव. इवन वन आपको लगा वो आपका जो डेवलपर लगा उसमें क्या है, एक क्लिक तो है, नहीं चाहिए मुझे. बी इंसिस्ट ऑन दैट. he'll feel कि आप पागल हो, हाँ मैं पागल हूँ, मुझे एक क्लिक भी नहीं चाहिए. एक क्लिक में क्या होता है, एक की में क्या होता है, नहीं, डोंट वरी, यू सेव इट, इट्स गोइंग टू हेल्पफुल. ओके, नाउ इन सी दिस केस, मेक माई ट्रिप. आई वॉन्ट टू गो बॉम्बे हांगकॉन्ग अगेन. वॉट डू आई नीड टू डू? फर्स्ट थिंग, आई हैव टू क्लिक इंटरनेशनल. क्या जरूर है? वाई कैन इट बी दिस वे? सो हियर they are by default they are given anywhere in world. Okay, here I have to select international, but here default is round trip and they are given me default.
हांगकांग टाइप करोगे ना तो ऑटोमेटिकली इंटरनेशनल ले लेगा वो.
अच्छा, they have done that. So why they are asking that question?
They are asking, but if you type Hong Kong,
good bad experience. They are making me click. I don't understand. Yeah.
That because the moment, as you rightly said, I might choose from Mumbai to Delhi, so it remains domestic. The moment I write Mumbai to Hong Kong, it will automatically go.
But I don't need it. I mean that, but those I don't need that tabs. I don't need those tabs. Why clutter the screen? I mean, just one of the thing earlier we said, keep it simple and uncluttered, right? Yes.
In this case, it would help it domestic because in this case, you don't even have to type anything. It can give a drop down of all the cities which have airports in India. You can directly use the drop down to do it. No need to type. So it actually saves effort in a certain way by using domestic internet.
No, so now let's say if I put H for Hong Kong, okay, or if I click on a drop down, I mean one is typing and one is drop down. In drop down I have to still scroll to reach to H. And if I put HO, the moment I put HO, I will be getting only 4 cities starting with HO. Honolulu, Hong Kong and all those. I have to just select one out of them. Right? So typing is better, not always a drop down is good. Okay, one. Number two, I don't really see a reason of having domestic and international being segregated. Zarur kya hai uski? Not needed. So that's what I'm saying. Try to save every keystroke, every click and every touch. Yeah?
People को देखने की आदत है domestic और international.
नहीं तो आदत नहीं. So agreed.
हो सकता है शायद, because that could be there.
Agreed, हो सकता है. But gradually, that's what I'm saying. People evolve. And as it evolves, you can start eliminating things, right? So इसमें नहीं है. Clear Trip has already done that. I'll tell you what. In one of my earlier companies, or earlier, not my company, I was working. That time there was no smartphones. There were only feature phones, and the maximum screen size was 3 inch. नोकिया के 3 इंच के जो आते थे फ़ोन्स, एंड उसमें वी हैड डेवलप्ड एन ऐप फॉर बुकिंग रेलवे टिकट्स, IRCTC के रेलवे टिकट्स. ओके, बॉम्बे बड़ोड़ा, there are 24 trains in those days. In those days there were 24 trains, and the way IRCTC functions is for every train I had to click, then it will show me the availability. Okay, and उसके पहले I had to first check, ask for the which क्या बोलते हैं type of ticket I want, sleeper या first class या AC, and then it will show me availability. Okay, the whole project was done by me, and in that 3-inch screen we came up with a completely novel user experience using color schemes, fonts, that visual hierarchy which I mentioned. Okay, and all 24 trains we would display with a color coded किस ट्रेन में टिकट अवेलेबल नहीं है, हम लोग लेके आते थे पीछे से. आई टोल्ड यू बैकएंड में जितना काम करना कर लो. ओके, सो बैकएंड में वी वुड फैच ऑल द डिटेल्स पहले से एंड शो, एंड it became so popular, and we had about 4,000 franchises across country. So believe me guys, people would buy tickets from a 3-inch screen and not from a desktop. They preferred using our mobile app. They had an option because our software was for both. We had a desktop version also and we had a mobile version also. And people would buy tickets, okay, for their customers. Our agents would book tickets from mobile screen and not from. That was the user experience we gave them. And we could actually move people from desktop, which is a whole big screen, to mobile. Okay, so this is all what matters a lot for people. Okay, don't clutter the screen unnecessarily. See this. Now this is a website where it's asking you to put your from to and then a date. Arey, aaj ka date, I am traveling today. It's a bus, right? And normally people want to check the timings of the bus or something. By default, can't I put today's date? Let me something show you what you should when you do put defaults. Okay. So generally whenever you want to have now address line cannot be default, right? Because every user will have a different address. But to save the clutter, instead of putting a label outside, within the text box, I put address line 1, address line 2, Mumbai. I have just simulated a screen here. People have screen simulate here, but just to give an idea, right? Now, moment I click here, that address line should go away. If it doesn't go away, something wrong with user experience. Now, let's see if I've entered. Okay, enter karte I come to this. Now, Mumbai is something which I had put default. Okay, agar default hai wo, because right now I'm browsing from Mumbai, so it has picked up my IP address. It gives me, now if I want to change it or I want to keep it, okay, so it highlights the whole text. Many times people ask for a birthday and by default they'll give today's date. Are you user born today? Right, na? There's no point putting today's date as a default. I hope you understand this. Okay, so what do? Either don't put a default because सबके डेट अलग होने वाले हैं बर्थ डेट, सो डिफॉल्ट डालो मत, और अगर डालना भी है डिफॉल्ट तो 0101 एंड 18 ईयर्स के ऊपर डाल दो, एटलीस्ट इतना मुझे स्क्रॉल कम करना पड़े. I mean, instead of 2016, had I put 1998, which is 18 years previous, so at least my user is at least 18 years का तो, क्योंकि everywhere somewhere generally 18 years का यूजर होना चाहिए. बट आज का डेट डालने का मतलब क्या है? मेरा यूजर आज पैदा ही नहीं हुआ है. Very other things you can make it a default. For example, and you know what, at times when you're confused about what default it should be, then keep the last thing which user entered as a default. Let me give an example. I have a Jet Airways app and I have a Jet Airways frequent flyer. So I use that app. And every time I book a ticket, that stupid app asks me my veg preference. I mean my food preference. I'm a vegetarian. एक बार बोला नहीं होता क्या? I once always I put vegetarian, then there by and large I would be a vegetarian. Okay, now there's a possibility that I could be a non-veg, but in a particular flight, or maybe because of the period or whatever, नवरात्रि चल रही है, people during that period they don't eat. So मैंने veg meal मांगा था, ठीक है. So give me option to change, but default तो मुझे दिखा दो जो last minute डाला था. So if last time I put veg, show me the same as a default. Okay, if I want to change to non-veg, I'll change it. And then next time again when I want to book a ticket, you show me, because last time I non-veg, now this time again you show me non-veg. It will continue. whatever, till I can change it back. So many times it's a good idea to put the last, whatever user has put last as a default, okay, if you are confused. But put defaults, please, important, very important. This is irritating when every time airline has to ask me about my food preference.
Most of the time there are, like for example, when you go once, you take a low fat meal or you take an oriental meal, okay, and then the next time like a diabetic meal, okay, and the next time when you travel back and the person, you know, because I mean internally they've told us about this, like, you know, so if you take a low fat meal and the next time when you travel back and, you know, the crew goes up to the passenger and, you know, and tell them, so you, it's your low fat meal, and the passenger's like, I've never ordered, like, you know, he gets embarrassed, he's like,
Agreed, agreed.
probably they're doing that again.
No, so show me when I'm booking my ticket, show me that your veg preference saved as so and so. Change, I can change that, right? Because this is a problem, you can't drop away the user experience. You solve that user experience and make it better still.
Because if you are frequent flyer, they capture your name and everything. Only this meal thing they are not doing.
They're not. There are one or two more things which they don't. Okay. So they also, so I always prefer a window seat. They know that. Okay. Let's say I'm a platinum card traveler. They do, check-in for me. Give me window seat. Why do you have to ask me?
Profile में if there is in the profile they do it.
So you are talking about your portal of travel. I'm talking about the app which is directly customer. ऐप में ऐसा कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है. तो आई विल शो यू माय ऐप. आप देख लो अभी. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई डोंट नीड टू लॉग इन. मेरे मोबाइल पे ऐप है. बाय डिफॉल्ट इट ओपन्स फॉर मी. इट्स दैट मोबाइल इज अ पर्सनल डिवाइस ऑफ माइन, राइट. और ये कोई बैंक तो है नहीं कि मेरा उसमें से कोई पैसे लूट लेगा. इनफैक्ट ICICI का ऐप है मेरे पास. इट डजंट आस्क मी लॉग इन. इट जस्ट आस्क मी फॉर माय थंब. मुझे लॉग इन नहीं करना. और अगर लॉग इन भी करना है, आई टू जस्ट पुट 4 digit ऑफ पिन नंबर. दैट्स ऑल. ओके. सो ICICI Bank, which should be more concerned about security of my money, they may have made it simple, and other people email ID डालो, पासवर्ड डालो. अरे तू क्या, कौन लूट लेगा? तेरा रखा क्या है मेरा ऐसा?
जब आप ICICI बैंक में डालते हो ना, तो देयर आर अदर चेक्स आल्सो. बाद में आपका वो कोड मांगेगा, ट्रांजैक्शन पासवर्ड मांगेगा. लेकिन एयरलाइन के माइल्स भी इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं. वो चोरी होते हैं वो. बिकॉज आई एम इन टू द ट्रैवल इंडस्ट्री.
या इट्स अ मनी.
माइल्स चोरी होते हैं.
हाँ, अभी रिसेंटली नहीं चोरी हुआ कि किसके, कौन से का स्पाइस के गए ना. हाँ, इट्स अ मनी. ऑफ कोर्स आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट. एग्री. हाँ, कुछ 16 लाख का या 18 लाख का कुछ गया.
सिर्फ आपका पासवर्ड ही है, उसके बाद वो कोई चेक नहीं मांगता.
तो नहीं, अग्री. तो उसको डालो, तो सिस्टम सिक्योर करो. दैट्स ऑल अबाउट बैकएंड. कस्टमर, सो बैकएंड को इतना स्ट्रांग बना दो कि कस्टमर फेसिंग को ये सब दिक्कत नहीं है. जस्ट बिकॉज यू कैन नॉट सिक्योर माई बैकएंड, यू आर पेनलाइजिंग मी एज अ कस्टमर.
इससे जैसे बैंक के फ्रंट एंड में आपको ट्रांजैक्शन पासवर्ड डालना पड़ेगा. आप
तो उसमें तो सेम सिक्योरिटी पुट फॉर योर प्रोटेक्ट माई माइल्स by doing all this. Why are you penalizing me? I mean, if bank can do it, good customer experience, why then these guys can't do it? Now in default, check how many people are going to be, the default is going to be applicable. If more than 50% of people will be using the default, then it's worthwhile putting it. लेकिन अगर if less people are going to use default, then as well as keep the field blank, let them enter. Many times, people, you know, in their language or whatever, they use the word default. Please keep away from that word default. For many people, most of the users, default means bank ka defaulter, right? So rather don't use the word default. So let's say you want to reset something, then use reset. Revert back to factory setting, revert back to original setting. Don't use the word revert back to default setting. The default word people don't understand. I mean, they have a different connotation for default. So avoid that word default in your language, in your communication, in your manual, in your help or whatever. So now anytime, you know, I get this, I use reminders or with notes, okay, and then I get a selection option. Yeah, so I can select. But can I delete all in one go? I cannot. मतलब क्या selection का तो फिर? और ये this is very common in many areas. First of all, lot of people don't give multiple selection itself, okay, and if they give multiple selection, then operation I cannot do on multiple selection. Then मतलब क्या है? Right? So this is one area which I want to show bad experience. iPhone back again. Okay. If I want to see my today's calendar, my today's day, I have to on Android directly comes on a screen. मुझे कुछ करना नहीं पड़ता. This is what I used to use. I mean, something similar I used to have on my Samsung. Yeah, you know, and how things have changed in my life. In Samsung, moment में screen देखता था तो I had a calendar on my screen, and my calendar has birthdays of all my friends. I'm sure you would also give. मेरे calendar में सबके नाम के कैसे birthday डाले हुए हैं. And I generally have a habit of wishing every day to morning to the people. अभी देख लेता हूँ आज इसका. Okay. Not only that, I also have become a reminder to a lot of my other friends or my family or whatever. So हम लोग ग्रुप फैमिली के ग्रुप होते हैं. So I put a message आज इसका बर्थडे है जिसका बर्थडे. Okay. Ever since iPhone has come, now I have to either go this way, scroll, or there's a Google app. Okay. तो Google app में मेरे को दिखता है आज बर्थडे किसका है. I have to click there on the app, which I don't do every day. And then, you know what, in last 6 months, ever since I bought iPhone, I realized my wishing has come down. Many friends say, तूने इस बार birthday wish नहीं किया. अरे तेरा birthday का I didn't even realize. Families tell me, you are not sending us reminder anymore. Others, they used to look forward to me and they used to thank me that you are sending me a reminder. How my things, you know, in my life have changed just by switching the phone. But yeah, बहुत ज़रूरी है. I mean, it shows me my calendar. Okay, here if I scroll down. ये क्या दिन जब भी मैं फ़ोन करता हूँ तो फर्स्ट थिंग आई नोटिस द बर्थडे. तो अगर मैं दिन में कभी भी आज स्किप हो गया तो 2 घंटे का मैं देखता हूँ तो याद आ गया. Facebook is only going to remind me once, and that time I may not be in a position to call them. Okay, now there's an assignment for you guys. Imagine you are developing an app for an emergency service, something like 911 in USA, and India में 112 अभी चालू हो गया emergency service. Okay, I'm giving you 2 minutes to think and come up with a method in a least possible keystrokes, least possible steps. You should be the user should be able to connect to that number. एक आपको ऐप डेवलप करवाना, ऐप चाहिए आपको. Your job is to develop an app. Okay, and the user has got an app now. Okay, in least 2 minutes, please think. Then don't. Okay, just 2 minutes given to you. Think of least possible steps a user is able to connect to the number. Clear? I hope my assignment is clear. Okay, so let's start with who's got 3 steps. Just raise a hand. Okay, so
I believe either you use an Android or an Apple, everybody will have a power button. Okay, so you keep pressing the power button. So in most of the phones, we'll get either switch off or reboot or something. So might as well we have just one click which will say emergency number. You press that and it goes for an emergency.
So one is I press a power button.
Then you press.
And then I get an option on the screen, emergency. I click it. So 2 step हुआ. मैं 3 वाला बोला था. 3 वाला किसका है?
The first step, 1 click to open the app.
1 click to open the app. Okay, step 1.
Okay, and then your location through GPS basically automatically by default is mentioned. If you want to change it, then you can click and change it. That is the second step. Third step basically color-coded emergency call. So there will be a police, there will be a medical, or there will be a fire station. So different color codes. So whichever the emergency, just click on that color button.
Okay, I just said one number. That's all. 112. I don't want option of fire brigade and all that. Today, emergency. Right, so like in USA, 911 is for everything. Everything. And same in India now, 112 is for everything. Police, fire, ambulance, everything is 112. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Emergency mein we can't think. So we need to be very simple. So I have one button. When there is an emergency, I need assistance from somebody. At the same time, I need to inform my near and dear ones. So I will use one of the buttons like he said. I'll just do one button which will keep directly dialing the emergency, either police or what is the control room. Simultaneously, it will shoot SMSs to people near and dear ones.
So you'll press one button. Just one button. Which button? Now there is a power button, there are volume button.
I can devise a standalone simple button also.
No, device in the sense, this is a standard phone.
The reason is because this particular button can be an easily identifiable emergency.
No, so you are creating a new protocol together. I am saying, जितने भी सबके mobile है, everybody is not going to change the mobile for that one button.
Or I can always use this 2 clicks or 3 clicks types in the same button.
So 1, 2, 3.
It is an emergency thing. So 3 steps may all concerned will get it.
First would be swipe to
okay.
swipe to unlock, and then you get the emergency option over the emergency call option, and you click on that, and the emergency number is automatically pre-saved So the moment you click on emergency call, it dials a call.
3 steps हो गए.
नहीं sir.
One is swipe.
हाँ.
So, then I got an option. Select that option. Step 2. So select करने के लिए ऐसे ही select हो गया, ऐसे तो नहीं होता है ना.
The 911 or 112 number is auto saved earlier only. So the moment you click on emergency call, first swipe. Yes. Yes. Emergency call and the unlock the screen. Okay. There you click on the emergency call and immediately it connects to the emergency number. Yes, 2 steps.
Okay, 2 steps. Anybody else? Yeah.
Actually, as sir told, like we can use one volume rocker button, like lower one. We can long press it, and after long pressing it, I'll get vibration feedback. I'll just one step, one vibration, 2 vibration, 3. After 3 vibration, call will go.
All right. Okay. Fine. Anybody else? Yeah. Go on.
So usually nowadays, because of the whatever advanced gimmicks these phones have, fingerprint security and all, so in case in an emergency, if I have met an accident or something, they will not put my finger there and unlock my phone. So I can have some features from which I can directly dial from the lock screen. As in iPhones by default they have this feature, you just swipe right and there's an emergency button.
Right.
So in 2 steps they can dial, or others they can see my medical ID and they can dial. So this is all default.
Great. Okay. I think, yeah. 1 more, 2 more. Okay.
What he's saying is, in an emergency, I might not be able to call for help. Maybe what if I am hit and unconscious? So then if somebody, if there is a passerby who is close by, he can always, if he has access to my thing and if the design, he can actually operate it and call for help.
Okay, great. Okay, fine. Accepted. Now, emergency could be not only accident. Huh? Now, emergency could be a female being molested in a car. Sorry, I mean, please don't take me wrong. And she needs an immediate attention. It's that kind of emergency, right? I mean, for her, every second matters. For that female, yeah. Sorry?
You have these voice notes and all nowadays. Voice notes and all of it nowadays. So you just take your phone and like emergency. And emergency at Andheri and the spot. Something like that. It's like an innovation.
So what, you talk?
Yeah, you talk. Because if you're hurt and if your hand is hurt, how would you probably type? Your phone would be fallen somewhere near you.
So just imagine a female in the back of the car, okay, and she's being, unfortunately being molested, and do you think she's in a mood to say emergency? And there he is.
But she will shout saying bachao, no?
So she'll say bachao, right?
So
right. So, okay, great. So, fine. So that's one step. Great, great. Hey, one sec. Please don't ignore that. It's something which I have got idea now. It can be improved upon, right? Lovely. So even if I ridicule, you don't have to. As an entrepreneur, people will ridicule you, but you have to still stick to your water if you feel it's correct. Good idea. It's a good idea. Yeah. Superb idea. Okay. Anything else?
So earlier you said that as an entrepreneur, you should not care about the technology exists right now. Like your job is to check the idea, right? So the technology does not exist right now, but I have a 0-step idea, but I'm not sure if it. Okay. So the idea is basically that right now, while we've already worked on mapping regions of the brain which show high activity during certain points. So the idea is that something like the way the Fitbit works, right, which measures your heart rate and all, something which can measure your brain activity on a certain level, and when it spikes in response to fear or certain terror or certain extreme moments, then it would automatically send the message to
You're not very far. In fact, you don't even require to put any wires in your brain or your skin. Okay. In fact, you know how this the lie detectors work? But they're not very reliable. But they are quite close. Okay. They are quite close. Okay. The polygraph test is based on the skin and the sweating which happens on the skin and the numbness, the coldness that you feel. All these factors. So when you're in emergency, your skin also reacts. Okay. It's minute, not visible to us, but I'm sure in the medical science they would have. So you are very close. Great point. Lovely. I like this. Okay. But really doesn't. Sir. Sir, that's not emergency. That is slow death. It's suicide. The day you're getting married, okay, it's like doing a suicide. Khali itna hai ki suicide is either instant death और ये धीरे धीरे मर रहा है, रोज मर रहा है, तो इट्स नॉट इमरजेंसी. ओके, एनीवे गाइस, आई विल टेल यू व्हाट, आई विल गिव यू माय वर्जन. ओके, so I just saw Lionel saying banging. You did something like this. Now actually you do this. When you're in emergency, if I vibrate this, can't the app automatically call? Why do I forget pressing any key? कौन ध्यान देता है उधर तभी की के ऊपर, किधर है? I mean, just imagine somebody, there are दो गुंडे अगर मेरे को अगर मेरे पे बलात्कार कर रहे हैं, जो भी कर रहे हैं, और अगर मेरे हाथ में फोन है, I just need to shake vigorously. I'm not going to wait for the screen दिखा चालू हुआ कि नहीं हुआ, or I can't even shout. But one thing I can do is I can shake my phone vigorously, and every phone has got a gyroscope.
I guess Motorola has this feature of shaking your phone. Yes, and the camera starts. And the flashlight on.
अच्छा, so now why can't we use that for emergency?
Sir, but you
can measure
sir,
that.
but there is a pros and cons. In case you are riding or you are into a joyride,
Sorry?
then you have to avoid the phone.
So there's a proper measurement when you're a joyride. Even if you're taking a roller coaster, okay. So that's not vigorously shaking. Vigorous is something. So there is some. It's like जो तुम्हारा क्या what is that steering wheel के ऊपर क्या लगा होता है? Balloon. Okay. Airbags. Okay. वो हलबड़ खुलता है क्या? जब ब्रेक मारोगे तो खुल जाए नहीं ना? Only when there is so you can measure at within what second the car stopped. It's not about impact. कितने सेकंड के अंदर गाड़ी रुक गई, अगर गाड़ी उतने सेकंड के अंदर अगर रुक गई तो it has to be an impact and that's why it blows off. Similarly ये सब this could be all calibrated. But okay, whatever it is, like she said, if I shake, I can change my music. Like he said, if I shake, if it's the camera mode, then the flashlight charger. Normal mode, if I shake, why can't it connect to emergency room? Okay, so now you understood how using some of the resources on mobile, you can actually try to minimize some steps. Okay, and emergency was the best example. Without actually doing anything, you can still, a user is able to connect to a call center. Clear? So make customer lazy. And if you notice, many things in life, in the name of convenience, actually they have made the customers lazy, and it works. We buy that. Okay, so it always works. So always make your customer lazy. The more lazier you do, you come up with a solution for a customer, the more better experience for a customer. Wow, kya mast hai. Okay. Huh? More price also, absolutely, yeah. More money because customer feels very convenient.